Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Hope Hooton, the host of Voices Against Filicide. Thank you for listening and for being a part of this mission. Together, we are raising awareness, educating, sharing resources, and keeping the voices of these children alive. Every time you listen, you share, or leave a review, you are helping us reach more people and make a difference. If you'd like another way to support, we have a Voices Against Filicide merchandise shop, where shirts, hats, mugs, bags, and so much more. Wearing or using these items help spread the awareness of filicide and help keep Alec and Lydia's story and all the other stories of children alive. This builds community and the dedication for change. You can find the merchandise at voicesagainstfilicide.odoo.com or through the link in the show notes. Thank you for standing with me as we speak truth, honor their lives, and fight for change. Trigger warning. The following podcast contains content that may be deeply disturbing. You will hear first-hand accounts from parents and family members who have lost children to filicide, the murder of a child by a parent or caregiver. These stories are raw, emotional, and shared from the perspective of those who have lived them. They include details of unimaginable loss, system failures, and trauma. Please take care while listening. If at any point you need to pause, stop, or step away, we understand. Welcome to Voices Against Filicide. I'm your host, Hope Hooton, a mother who has walked this journey and an advocate turning my pain into purpose. This podcast sheds light on filicide cases, statistics, who these children were, the warning signs, the advocacy work being done in their honor, and so much more. Together, we speak truth, honor their lives, and fight for change. Before we go any further, I want to take a moment to honor two of the brightest lights I've ever known. My two children, Alec and Lydia. Alec with his love of Pokemon and kind heart, and Lydia with her joyful personality and love of unicorns. They were more than my whole world. They were joy in human form. Their laughter, their hugs, their imaginations, all of it lives on in me and in this podcast and in the work I do every day to spread awareness and fight for children. This podcast is for them. It's for every child whose voice was silenced too soon. Alec and Lydia, you are my why, and I will never stop fighting in your name. Thank you for joining me today, and let's get right into today's episode. Today, we journey to Huntsville, Alabama, to tell the story of a tragedy that unfolded in early August of 2025. A father and his young son gone far too soon. This is not an easy story to hear, but we cannot turn away from it. Because every case of filicide, the killing of one's own child, is both a heartbreaking reality and a call to action. On the afternoon of Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, first responders were called to the 1000 block of Retlaw Street in Huntsville. It was just before 3:30 p.m. when firefighters arrived to report of a house on fire. From the outside, there was very little visible flame damage, but inside, it was a different story. In a bedroom, police discovered 21-year-old Dominic Tucker and his 1-year-old son. Both had been shot. Autopsy results from the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences confirm that the gunshot wounds happened before the fire began. A firearm was recovered at the scene, and ballistic testing provided it was the weapon used. The boy's name has not been yet released by authorities, but we know this. He was a son, a little boy whose life was taken too soon. He didn't have any time to live, to grow up, to make friends, to go to school, to learn how to talk, to learn how to walk. At 1 year old, most children are just learning to babble, filling rooms with laughter and their bright eyes. That chance to grow, to play, to live was taken from him. He didn't have a choice. Dominic Tucker was a young father, only 21 years old. He worked at a local Taco Bell, and they had a family dog. Neighbors remember the home for another reason, too. It was the scene of a stabbing just a year before. A past incident that now leaves the community questioning whether more could have been done to prevent this tragedy of filicide. The investigation into this case concluded quickly. Most of them do, just letting you know. Huntsville police labeled it a filicide, and like so many of these cases, the official records now have been sealed. But behind these facts is a deep well of pain, loss, and unanswered questions. Neighbors have expressed shock and frustration, asking how something like this could happen in their neighborhood, and what warning signs might have been missed. Filicide is not rare. It is a crisis that cuts across states, communities, and families. The risk factors are well known. People just need to pay attention. Some of the risk factors are severe mental illness that's left untreated, domestic violence, neglect of a child, substance abuse of any kind, custody or parental isolation or disputes. When these dangers go unaddressed, the consequences can be irreversible. Now, we don't know what the father, Dominic, was struggling with, but he was definitely struggling with something, because no sane person kills their own child and then kills themselves. He was struggling with something deep and dark. My hope is that the mother of this child gets the prayers that she needs. The family of this son gets the healing that they need. Please, as an audience, I ask you to send up prayers for them. Remember, this is about filicide, but also, Dominic also killed himself, which is suicide. And I want to bring awareness to that as well. I want you to understand that people that go through suicidal ideation and then ultimately commit the act of suicide are ill. They are sick. Their brain is not functioning properly. So we need to get it out of our heads that this was a choice. There was no choice in his mind. If you are a parent, guardian, or anyone feeling overwhelmed, hopeless, or on the brink, please know that there is help. Call 988. Text 988. If you are in Huntsville, Wellstone Behavior Health can connect you with medical mental health services. In closing, we remember today a little boy whose name may never appear in headlines, but whose life mattered deeply. And we remember his father, whose actions took them both from this world. In their memory, let's choose to act, to speak up when we see danger, to push for stronger interventions, and to fight for systems that protect children before it's too late. Because every child deserves to grow up safely. If you enjoyed this podcast and found it moving, please consider subscribing to the channel and also sharing the episode. Remember, spreading awareness, it's just that. We have to take the step to action to actually make change. Again, I'm your host, Hope Hooton. Together, we speak the truth, fight for change, and honor their lives. Remember, be kind and always abound in hope.